Welcome back, YouTubers. This is Congrexes Prime coming at you with another State of Decay 2 Beginner's Guide to Completing Nightmare Zone episode number 4. And this episode is going to be a pretty loaded episode, guys. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen, but at first, I'm going to be doing some little silly stuff that I thought was completed in the episode early on. Like I had to kind of preset my characters, and you're going to see my menus going ballistic. I'm going to explain a little bit of my thought process as I'm doing some of these things, but a lot of this is just because I didn't preset my character like I normally do. I thought I had done it, and I was recording, so I was like, you know what? I'll use this time to explain to you guys a few things about the game, where we're at, and here it is. See, I'm going. I logged in. And I realized, oh man, I didn't really set the right character up to do what I needed to do. So I look at the map. I try to get that's the first thing I always do, guys. I look at the map and see what's going on, how many infestations I have, how many enemy enclaves I have, if there's a plague heart where that I've discovered where they're at. So I start formulating a plan on what I'm gonna do in this particular time that I'm playing. So as you guys can see, I'm going to be presetting, taking all the weapons out of this character, setting up a weapon for home defense, and I'm going to be going through menus. So while I'm going through these menus, and I'm doing that, I'm going to explain to you guys a few things that should happen by day 4. By day 4, you should already have your hands on a medical bay level 2 at a minimum, a workshop at a minimum. You should have already upgraded your communications facility at least to the next level. I know that you can't go any further until you have somebody that has communications or computers. So you can't go any further with that. But at least you should have 3 outposts, and those 3 outposts. And I'm gonna say this very gingerly. Those 3 outposts can be whatever you want them to be, but I recommend that you stop the bleeding in meds. You know that once you have a level 2 medical facility in your, or any medical facility, you start draining 2 meds every day from your community. So what do I mean about stopping the bleeding? I at least get 2 medical outposts so that I can be at par. So basically, each outpost gives you 1 medical supply a day. So if you have 2, then you'll be making 2, losing 2. You're going to be even, right? You got passive healing going. You're not taking from your meds, so you're not losing any. And you that's what I call breaking par. You're right there. You're where you need to be. So the only thing that you're going to be bleeding or losing, as I like to, I like to say bleeding, but in reality, you're going to be losing food. So how to mitigate the food is you can put 1 food outpost out for the time being. There is another thing you can do if you have a gardener in your community, which I do not. You can build a garden and you can get that going as well. But considering the fact that I don't have a gardener's book, and I don't have a gardener preset because I came in with 3 characters without any 5th skills. As you guys can see that I have 2 medical facilities. I actually have 4 because I found the antenna. So that's the other thing. So if you have the upgrade in the first level antenna that you can find anywhere, not the network antenna, which gives you an extra slot, which I haven't found yet. So there it is. See, I got 2 medical facilities and I have 1 food, and I have that bed thing because I was looting that area, and I used that as a loot point. That's another thing I want to talk to you guys about. There's been a lot of comments, especially on the streams from the game developers, about storage, right? And some people are like, we would like to get more storage on our vehicles. We would like to get more storage on our backpacks. Storage is a big thing in this game, and as you guys can see, I'm always running around for the most part. Very rarely do you see me with a big backpack. If the character can hold it and stay within my weight threshold, then yeah, I'll wear a big pack. But if not, you always see me with an ultralight. If I can afford to do that, then that's what I'm going to do, especially early on in the game. Look at my weight. See how my weight is going up? It went to the yellow, but it was under the green. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. I don't know how important it is for somebody that's just playing the game to understand that being under yellow conditions is not horrible, but it's not ideal. And what do I mean by that? Well, I think I ran it through the codes last. I won't say last episode. I said either the second or first episode of this series where I said being under light conditions with a beginning character is ideal. And the reason I say that is because you don't have a whole lot of stamina to work with. And most people lose characters because their stamina. They can't no longer dodge. When they want to dodge, they can no longer hit a full swing of whatever it is that they're swinging. Therefore, you know, if you run into a big herd of zombies, or let's say a triple pharaohs or whatever, you're gonna be basically a fish in a barrel. So how do I prevent that with low level characters? By keeping them under light conditions as much as I can. You know, I mean, there's gonna be times like right now I'm carrying a big backpack because I'm ferrying things back and forth. But the minute that I'm done with that, I try to balance my characters to be under light conditions. So I don't think I need to stress this enough. This will be the second episode that I talk about light conditions and the reasons why I do it. You burn less stamina, you can run further, and you can dodge more. You know, that's pretty much it right there. Um, so we're gonna talk about some things here. As I said, we're in day 3, going on day 4. You should have already upgraded, you know, your storage facility, your communications, and you should have already have level 2 medical facility and level 2 workshop. So right now, I'm kind of hard pressed now because I want to be able to get 5 characters. That's what I'm working on right now. That's my goal. My goal is to pick up 2 other community members. Now you have to be very careful when you decide to do this in a game because, as you know, for every person you add to your community, you're gonna be burning 1.5 extra food. So if they have a normal metabolism, if they have an increased metabolism, then it might be swallowing 3 food or 2 food. It just depends on the character. There are characters that burn more, they eat more, and there are characters that eat less. But on the norm is 1.5, and you're about to see here some great crossbow shooting, guys. This is me being a pro player and missing like 2 crossbow shots. A lot of this, a lot of the problems I have with a crossbow is that I don't use them often. So there is a slope to shooting a crossbow, and that taking the time here to shoot to get my bearings with the shots. So that's why I'm clearing out these zombies. I mean, I didn't have to do that, but so what I'm doing over here is I saw that I have a wandering trader, and every time a wandering trader shows up, you should take the time, specifically if you have trading items like I do right here, to to see what they're about. And then this particular one trader is the best wandering trader you can get early on. See, he has a all the mods, all the medical mods that you want. Um, and those don't require power. That particular washing station doesn't require power. So I get super excited because I have 3 mods there that I really could use. Plus, I have plenty of trading and also mods that are extra. You guys saw that I got a fertilizer bag there. I had an extra fertilizer bag, so I was like, look, I'm not gonna need 2 fertilizer bags right now. Matter of fact, I don't even need the one that I have, but I'm gonna keep it because I will need it later on when I do get a farm. Um, so you know, I was super ecstatic to see that, and so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna trade all my items to the trade vendor until he gets low on influence, and then I'm gonna buy the mods, and I'm also gonna buy the medical rucksacks because that's the other thing in this game that is detrimental to your gameplay. It's keeping ammo and keeping medical supplies up. Food and supplies, like building supplies, are way easier to find, specifically in Nightmare Zone. But medical and medical supplies and ammo are not. So anytime you get a vendor that has ammo or medical supplies, if you have the extra influence, which I did have here, um, buy it. This shouldn't be a question. Buy it, put it in your vehicle, and put it in your home as soon as you are able. Obviously, if you don't have the space, don't put it in there because it'll just burn out. That's another thing I want to talk to you guys about. There is a certain level of supplies that you can have in your base. So be mindful never to exceed that number. You start off with 25 across the board. If you upgrade it, I believe it upgrades by 10. So then you'll have 35 that you can put. Depending on the base. Like in the beginning base, I'm pretty sure that's how it rolls. Other bases have other bonuses. Like you might be able to store more stuff. Or you start off with advanced storage. So there it is. There's the day ticker. I'm still in day 3. I haven't transitioned to day 4. So at this point of the game, guys, I am looking really good. This is kind of like where you want to be before you get to day 4, in my opinion, in Nightmare. You know you're in good shape if you have all these things going for you. You have upgraded your base. You have you can get 3 to 4 outposts. You notice I only have 3 characters, and I'm about to do something here. This is what I want to talk to you guys about. Before I will go crazy about telling you guys what you should have. You notice that I always have what I call an oddball outpost, right? I always take an outpost and trade it. Why do I do that? Notice I have no more inventory space in my vehicle. I have no inventory space on my character. What do? Swap out one of those outposts, guys. I just did that. Now I got 3 medical outposts, which is great because now I'm not losing. I'm actually gaining 1 medical supply a day. So this is perfect. This is like, to me, I'm in a good situation here. So the only thing I'm worrying about right now is food. And I know where all the food spots are at. I don't know about how much food there's in this map. There's no way, unless I get deep into the game, that I need to worry about food. And with this playthrough, I'm expecting to be at Legacy's end by day 12. As you guys can see, I have my gym, and you're gonna say, Prime, that's crazy. Why didn't you build a? You could have built a farm. And I'm gonna say this again. I don't have somebody in my community with agriculture. So instead of having a farm there that's level 1 that I could only get 1 food out of, because I have no water coming in, unless I put a water cooler in there and I get 2 food out of it, why don't you use that particular slot for the time being to improve your character's survivability? And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm going to try to max out their fighting as much as I can. And if I still ain't found somebody with agriculture or still haven't found a book, I'm going to switch that to a shooting facility, and I'm going to get my wits up, which is the other stat that's a pain in the butt to get. I think I need a warlord to be able to upgrade the shoot. No, I'm sorry. I need a sheriff to be able to upgrade that facility to level 2 to get the wit. But I believe I have one of those in my community, so I'm sitting pretty good. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going through. So as you guys can see, you don't need a 16 slot bag, a 12 slot bag, a 7 slot bag, a 5 slot bag, a 2 slot. What you really need to do is learn to manage your outposts, and learn that you can reset your outpost anywhere you want. Once you set an outpost, it doesn't mean the outpost is permanent. You can click on the actual outpost itself, and what's the word I'm looking for? Not disassemble. Well, we'll call it disassemble that particular outpost because I can't come up with the word right now, guys. I still ain't done with my coffee, and to me it's early in the morning, but I want to get this video done. And my mind ain't working at full capacity right now, so I do apologize if I stumble a little bit with my words. But as you guys just saw, I built this outpost. I'm draining this whole area. I'm gonna go ahead and use this outpost, and whatever buildings in this area I can loot, I'll loot. And then when I go somewhere else, I do the same thing. I build a temporary outpost, and I use that as a funneling point to get everything but rucks. I got another. I believe that's a cooking book, which is good. Cooking's good, but I'm still looking for agriculture because I'm looking for sustainability. That is the only thing holding me back. If I was planning to do, let's say, 100-day challenge, I will be really gearing towards getting somebody that has agriculture and try to get my base situated as quickly as possible. But being that this playthrough is not a 100-day challenge playthrough, that I'm just trying to kill 17 hearts before I get into the legacies, that all I'm doing is doing the front load prep to get my characters up to speed so that I can move bases. Because right now, the goal is I need more people. I have three. I need to recruit two more. So what I'm doing is basically looting this area quickly so that I can move to a quest. I believe they're the brewers. I believe there are the people that do the beer and the alcohol, and I'm trying to get good with these people so that I can snag one of them to my community. I'm also keeping an eye out for missions. Some of those missions you have to save somebody. Somebody's like, help me, I need help, I'm dying. And you go up to them, and sometimes they give you like two rucksacks of something, or they'll ask you if they can join your community. At this point, I'm not being choosy or picky about what I want in my community because I need those bodies so I can move bases. So that's see, I'm hard pressed to come over here and do this particular mission for for these particular enclaves. So I believe this is a mission where you get to choose somebody crossing in front of their enclave, and it's kind of a silly mission. There is a possibility of you switching like who you want, basically as a community. I chose to stay with the alcohol people in this one, I believe, and the other people get a little mad at you, but it's okay. You know, if you continue working with that other enclave and the mission pops up, you can become allied with them too. So it's not like the end all be all. This is not a Mass Effect sequence in the game where they're gonna attack your base now or whatever. Will be cool if you get enclave so mad at you that they start attacking you, um, randomly in the map, or there's random encounters, or they'll show up, or they'll just attack your base. When the zombies attack, they'll try to come in and attack you as well. But the game doesn't do that. Enclaves in this game are pretty static, and I think that's a uh, pretty big weakness when it comes to the point of the game we're getting to right now. So what I'm trying to get at is this: I'm at the point now in the game where I'm past the beginning, right? Which to me is the most exciting part of this game. A lot of people may or may not agree with me, but the first few days in this game when you have nothing and everything matters, to me are the funnest part of this game. Now we're going to transition into a more simpler part of this game, which I call mid game. See right here, I think I'm trying to get this quest done here. I think he was asking me for help. Help me. It's one of those help me quests. And I believe after I'm done with this, I'm able to recruit this guy to my community, which not I believe that's what happens here after I complete this mission for him. And yeah, I agreed to help him. And this is just a time mission where zombies are gonna come in. You just have to fight him and make sure that he doesn't die. Um, So that's pretty much in a nutshell what's happening here. And I believe at the end of this, he's gonna be like, yeah, I need a place to stay. And of course, I'm gonna take him because I only have three people. So what I'm trying to accomplish here is get the five people I need to move. Where do I want to move? Well, considering I haven't found a single ammo press for any caliber whatsoever in this game, um, I want to move to the police station. In the police station, I'm gonna have 9 millimeters, which are usually one of my favorite rounds and one of my favorite calibers in this game. 45, which is my second favorite, and that's because I love shooting the vector. And uh, I can build shotgun shells, I believe, are the other two, and 22s. I believe shotgun shells are just 22. I can't remember. it's been a minute since I actually messed around in that particular base, but I believe the 22 for sure, 9mm 45. I don't quote me on the shotgun shells. I got to get into that base to look at it. I know you'll be able to build like smoke grenades and flash grenades, and it's the only way that I know of that you can build smoke grenades in this game is in that particular base. So I don't know if there's another base that allows you to build smoke grenades. I know this is the only one that does, for in my experience. So, and you're gonna say, well, Prime, why are you so interested in the smoke grenades? Why do you keep talking about them? Well, I made a video a long time ago on how to approach an enclave, but I never really approached an enclave with smoke. Smoke grenades are very OP in this game. Most of you guys have never even used them. I bet. I'll put money on it. Or maybe just threw one and was like, what was the point of this orange smoke? When you're inside of that smoke, um, all the zombies and all the humanoids cannot see you until they go into the smoke with you. So let's say you're getting chased by a bunch of pharaohs and you have a smoke grenade, throw it on top of you, see what happens. If you stay within that smoke, they'll lose contact with you. And if you go into the crouch position and get out of the smoke, you completely break contact. So it's kind of like a ninja poof. You know what I'm saying? Like you back in the day when people used to see ninja movies like American Ninja, and they throw smoke and then the smoke disappears and then they're gone. It's kind of like that in all reality. That's how the mechanic works. And I will have to show you guys when I get my hands on some smoke grenades how they work, because I think it's probably the most underrated um, consumable in this game that most people don't even give it a second thought. But it's actually it can get you out of a jam. Plus, you can use it offensively, especially on the Sheriff's Legacy. There's a part where you have to climb a ladder, and there'll be like two guys up there. There'll be the main dude and then his lackey. If you kill the main dude first, the lackey gives up. So obviously you want to try to aim for the main dude if you see him first. But to get up there in Nightmare Zone, it's a 50-50 that you're going to be even draw your weapon before they one-shot you when you're up there. So to prevent that from happening, some people bring a lackey from another enclave. Like they bring them up and then they kind of wait for that lackey to go up the stairs so that those people have somebody to shoot at. That is a valid technique to use when you can get the NPC to do that for you. But let's say you don't get that NPC to go up there, or you forget, but you have a smoke bomb. You throw one or two smoke bombs in that general vicinity up there, you're able to get up there without being detected, and you're going to be able to take the first shot. And I've done that in several playthroughs. You can go back and watch when I've done Sheriff Legacies, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I am going to probably do it in this playthrough and give you guys a more play-by-play-ish way to finish that legacy, specifically in Nightmare Zone. I think it's one of the harder ones to complete because of that stare at the end, that gamble you have to take, going up the stairs and getting shot in the face. So, um, but I'll show you guys how to do it, and we'll talk about that more in the future episodes. But right now, I believe, yep, I picked this guy up, and I believe I'm gonna look at his stats and see what he's about. I think that's what I'm trying to figure out. There we go. See, he has a bunch of negative crap. See that? When you start seeing red text like that, guys, um, it's not a guy that I want to keep because of his negative stats. So he's here as a body. And he's a surgeon, which I don't need a surgeon because I already have somebody that has medicine, as you guys can see. I don't need him as a surgeon, so I'm gonna end up wanting to get rid of this guy. But for now, I'm gonna keep him. Now, endurance and striking. Endurance in this game is actually pretty dope. And if you have like discipline and endurance and marathon all together, it is it is super beastly, guys. You can really stay in combat, like in the pocket for a long period of time, and because every time you hit somebody, um, with discipline, you get a little bit of your stamina back. Every time you kill a zombie, boom, you get 5 stamina back. So you have like an extended period of time to swing weapons or even dodge a few more extra times. As long as you're killing stuff, you're getting stamina back. And if you have marathon, all you have to do is run. As long as you're in the light encumbrance, run and you get your stamina back. So I mean, endurance in this game is really beastly. I like it, but right now I'm building certain characters in my opinion, I need. So I always have a striker. I always try to have a sword plate person. I also try to have a endurance person, and I also try to have a person set up for powerhouse. So I have like the options, and powerhouse nowadays has a double effect. It has a double whammy. In order to be able to um, uh, man, I lost my third thought. In order to be able to use heavy weapons, good lord, you need uh, powerhouse, in order to be able to use them effectively. So, but when you do that, you take away the ability to drop kick, and I like to call it the Bundy special. But the drop kick is very valuable, specifically like if you can get it pretty early on in the game, and you know how to use it. Primarily to fight pharaohs. If a pharaoh jumps you, um, you have that drop kick ability. You can pretty much drop kick the pharaoh. It'll stun him. You'll run up to him, execute him, and the fight's over. That's it's very effective. The odds of getting powerhouse early on, though, in my opinion, have never been great. I've only had like one time when I had a playthrough where I had a guy that had powerhouse like in the very beginning as an option. Normally, you'll see swordplay, you'll see close quarter combat, you'll see everything but powerhouse. So if you can get your hands on powerhouse early, just know that drop kick can save your life. That's all I have to say about powerhouse. I could go into a more detailed video about it, explaining how to use powerhouse and explaining the value of the drop kick. And I know it's valuable. You guys don't see me use it often. It's not my go-to move. It's not like one of the things that I well, that's the guys right there. That's some perfect driving. Nobody can drive better than me in this game. I don't care what anybody says. Actually, that was pretty bad. So this is when this video starts getting good, guys. I told you guys that this video starts off kind of meh. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on. This video is about to get lit right here. And what's going to happen here is I'm going to give you a preamble to what's going to happen. I'm going to give you besides my fantastic crossbow shooting here that I was doing there. I missed like 4 shots on one zombie, but all of a sudden then I get shroud aim and I start missing again. And I'm very inconsistent with crossbow, guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm not the best shot. Um, that's why I don't trust myself to fight pharaohs with a crossbow because I have a high probability of missing a target like a pharaoh with a crossbow. So I always have a pistol or a weapon that I can, shoot faster than I can this repeating crossbow. But anyway, enough making fun. Let's concentrate on what's going to happen here. I do this mission. We're looking for a I believe it's 25 either parts or I think it's parts that I'm looking for. Either parts or a supply rough site. I can't remember what the heck it is. And for the brewers. And what's going to happen is normally when this quest happens, you want to have a cure, a plague cure, because she's going to get bit. There's absolutely nothing you can do about that. She's going to get bit, and you have to have a cure handy to cure her when you take her to her base. Now there's like a 10-minute timer in Nightmare Zone to cure her. I'm pretty sure in normal zone and green zone you may have like 3 hours to do it, but in Nightmare Zone you have 10 minutes. So having a cure handy to complete the quest is very important. Now look at this, guys. I pick up a crossbow, some bolts. Getting any crossbow early on is a blessing, and I've been pretty fortunate in this game at this particular playthrough to get my crossbow, up to par. Especially getting a light crossbow, that was like wow, that was like the best thing for me. So I'm again, what do I do, guys? I need to get rid of loot. My pockets are full. My vehicle is full of trash. I pick up another ruck, and I'm like, well, let me just go ahead and see exactly what I preach is. Let me go ahead and oh, that zombie tried to get sexy with me while I was, putting stuff in the trunk, but um, I smelt him. I didn't see him. I smelt him. I smelt the ninja move coming, so I had to dodge button quickly and just hit him and took care of him. So I normally set up outposts. I always swap out one outpost consistently. I don't know if you guys seen the trend. And again, I reset my fighting gym to make sure that boom, there it is. That's the ruck that I needed. So it was a ruck, and I know I'm gonna need that ruck, but I want to offload as much as I can. There's another ruck there, which is awesome. This place is nice to me. You normally don't get 3 rucksacks from the farm. At least I don't. I always get 2, not 3. So this is very nice to be able to get my hands on this many rucksacks, plus get the rucksack that they need for this particular mission. So what's gonna happen here is when I pick this rucksack up for the mission, some a sequence happens. Nothing you guys can do to stop this from happening. So don't feel bad that she got bit. There's no way around it. She's gonna get bit. So you kill off the zombies. You take her as quickly as possible to the house. Now, I'm gonna what I told you guys earlier. I'm gonna give you a preamble to this. You have to understand what the game is trying to do to you. I'll say this again. You have to understand what the game is trying to do to you. And you're gonna say, Prime, why the hell you just repeated that twice? Because I need to drive this point to you guys. In Nightmare Zone, the game is trying to kill you. Now, it doesn't care about rules. It's gonna kill you. That's the goal. So what you need to pick up as a player is when the game turns that switch on. And then you're gonna have to try to do everything in your power not to die. So here we go. I got the ruck. It started the quest. I was trying to get off the darn ladder, and I ended up getting bit here because I didn't hit the dodge button. So I was pretty mad at myself. I don't like getting bit like that. And my aiming got better when I get mad. I aim better. So I was pretty frustrated right there. And so I say I got you. I'm gonna bring her back. I have a ruck in my back. I want to make sure that I have the plate cure because I told you guys you're gonna need it. And this is not a bad setup. Having 3 med places and 1 food is not a bad setup. That's actually, I highly recommend that you have at least 2 medical facilities. The other ones are up to you, but having 2 at least, it's gonna stop the bleeding. Having 3 is fantastic because now I'm making meds. I'm not losing meds, which is perfect. And all I have to worry about is food. So that setup right there that you saw guys saw for Outpost is what I highly recommend you have early on. If you don't, if you want to have more food, you can, but at least have 2 medical facilities. So I'm going to the house, and I was driving a point to you guys. I know when the game's trying to kill me. Number 1, something as crazy as this is going to happen. Normally, you go up to this base, and you're going to turn this quest in. And what's supposed to happen here is you talk to the dude. He'll tell you, yeah, my friend's sick. Do you have a cure? You say, yeah. But look what happens. We get a herd spawn immediately. And then after the herd spawns, in the distance, I hear a juggernaut. Right? So you see me do this right here. What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to get distance. Why am I trying to get distance? Because I'm under heavy conditions. And my marathon is completely useless at this point. So what do? I take the rucksack off, pick up my boat, and I go back into the fray. Now I know this damn juggernaut is gonna pin these NPCs in here, and they're gonna stay stuck because that's what happens. So the game right now is baiting you to die, right? And I know that. I know there is a less than a 1% chance that I'm gonna be able to complete this quest because the NPCs are gonna stay stuck in that little corner, right? They're gonna take the zombie juice and they're gonna die. There's just, nothing I can really do about it without risking this character. They're gonna die. Now, if for some darn reason these NPCs would have been able to get out of the store, right? Which I don't know why they stay stuck like that, but that's what happens all the time. Specifically in these small enclaves like this that are enclosed like this. Like I don't understand why those two characters are just looking at the wall back there. So now the game is trying to pressure me, right, to go in there and do something dumb, like get in the cloud with a juggernaut to try to save these characters because at the end of the day, I wanted to recruit these dudes. So I'm trying to get the juggernaut's attention. He's not biting. I'm hitting him with the pistol. I know I don't have enough rounds to kill him. I know that, you know. So right now, I'm gonna try my best to try to save this guy. Of course, zombies show up, and they're not gonna let me save him. So I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to stun him to stop him from killing the character. But again, as you guys can see, I could not do it. I could not make it happen. So I already know that this mission's a failure. There's nothing I can do um, to stop this from happening. Certain things also start to happen in the game, as you guys can see, like uncontrollable zombies start to show up. Now, I did fire off a 9mm, several times, so that didn't help the situation. And we're going to talk about firing weapons that are unsuppressed in Nightmare Zone a little bit after this particular engagement. Um, I'm trying to figure out a way to fight this Juggernaut without putting myself at risk. Fighting a Juggernaut melee in this game is totally doable, right? See, I'm really trying to save these people. I was trying to get them, I'm trying to get that quest to pop so that I could talk to them, but they wouldn't talk to me because they're engaged in combat. And I was hoping that once I turned the quest in, or if I could turn the quest in, that they would get out of that corner and start doing something so that I had a higher probability to at least recruit one of these people. But the game it's coaxing you. This is when you're like, all right, you have two options here. A, continue to fight. B, start thinking about an exit strategy, which I already was. At this point, I was like, you know what? If they kill one more of these NPCs, which um, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna say screw it. You can keep this enclave. You know what I mean? The game doesn't want me to save this enclave, so I'm not going to. See, I'm trying to talk to the lady, but look, the minis wouldn't come up, and now the zombies walk in here, so we're back in combat. So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You have to know when the game's trying to kill you. Obviously, the game is doing everything in its power right now to kill me, because I couldn't even bring up the conversational menu when they weren't in combat. So, and I see that I got plagued from I don't know where at that point. Did you guys see that? The Juggernaut hit me with the plague um, from like 100 yards away, and that's one thing I don't like about fighting Juggernauts. They're too inconsistent in Nightmare Zone. They'll fight you fair, and if they stay with the current pattern, see, look at my life is all messed up. I was trying to save her. At this point, look at my damage. Like, look at all the damage I took from I don't know what. So the game is trying to kill me. The rules the rules don't apply when the game is trying to kill you. And that's, as a player, as a Nightmare Zone player, you have to understand that the game is not going to play by the rules. And whenever you guys ever hear me play this game in previous in previous playthroughs, and I got into some serious conversations with people on my comments, especially in my 100-day challenge, when I'm like, oh, here we go, cheat code engage. That is what I mean. If you go back, you'll see that I did not take any damage from the Juggernaut whatsoever, and that I took plague damage and wound damage from what? From a swipe that a plague zombie hit me with? No, it shouldn't happen like that. So, um, it that's what I'm talking about. So you guys ever hear me say cheat code mode engage? That means that I smell what the game is trying to do, and you know, I'm calling the bluff basically. So these conversations I had with these other people, I got told that I don't understand uh, this game, that I don't understand the gaming mechanics, that this is what Nightmare Zone is supposed to be about, and that the game deliberately ignoring its rules of combat and doing what just happened there is part of the game. And I would have to say that's nonsense. There are better ways to making games harder than to breaking its own rules in order to make the game difficult or impossible. Other games do it a lot better than Nightmare Zone, State of Decay. I don't know why sometimes I even play Nightmare Zone, guys. I don't know if it's because I'm a sucker for punishment or because I already can see certain things developing as the game like starts to happen. Like that situation I knew was a total F. I knew like the minute I saw the Juggernaut come and you saw me take off my rust sack, it's kind of like, well, this is gonna go downhill. And I knew the minute those two characters were looking at the wall of the Enclave and not reacting to what's happening, like right there, see the I go back to see if the Juggernaut's still there. He's still there. I'm like, you know what? You can keep this Enclave, Mr. Juggernaut. I'm gonna move on and continue on with the game. So I decided that I'm gonna go look for this wandering trader right here and just let the game have that Enclave. And that's a choice, an active choice that you have to make. You have to know when to back out of this game. You can't go at it, like a China bull in a China cabinet. You're gonna die. You have to have that switch in your mind. Like, all right, you see that over and over again. You just saw it in my playthrough. If you see something similar on yours, and you're not confident in your abilities as to be able to deal with a bad situation and knowing to know when to get out of the bad situation. You have to have like that fight or flight mentality. um and you don't know, the best thing to do is just get on your car and just leave, and just let that Enclave be. That's the best way to attack Nightmare Zone sometimes, is to know um when to fight and when not to fight. And there was a perfect example of not fighting. So what am I doing here, guys? I'm looking for the Wandering Trader, and I'm staying in my vehicle because if you pass by him or her, she or he will say, "Hey, I'm here," and then okay, I can get out of my car. But until then, you guys can go around all the houses and all the checkpoints in your vehicle, waiting for that particular thing to happen. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking for the Wandering Trader. Now, this Wandering Trader is a special Wandering Trader. If you guys saw that, it's the one you get on the weekends. And there is a high probability of this guy having some really, really good stuff. In particular, which he does. I saw that. I opened it up and I was like, oh my god, this dude right here got some sexy stuff. Now, here's the deal with this trader. I didn't have the influence to buy all the stuff that I wanted from him. So now I have to kick the game into high gear. What's good about this trader is that you have 3 hours. You have 3 hours to, as long as you don't log out of the game, because that's the other thing, guys. If you want to get the stuff out of this vendor, and let's say you only have 30 minutes to play the game, and the vendor shows up, I recommend you pause the game, do whatever it is you need to do, and then come back, and then try to farm as much influence as you can to try to get some of these items. He has the Elite Eternal Guard. The Elite Eternal Guard is probably the strongest weapon in the game. And you're gonna say, Prime, well, why are you saying it's the strongest weapon? It's the best gun in the game? No, there's no such thing as the best gun in the game, but definitely that's good too. By the way, I looked in the ambulance and I saw medical repair kits. Those are really good. So there's no such thing as a best weapon, or what, you know, or a weapon that's gonna be like the Terminator gun in this game. There's no such thing, because at the end of the day, two things have to happen. One, you have to have bullets for it. Two, you have to be able to aim with it. So it doesn't matter how good the weapon is, if you don't aim well, it's gonna be completely useless to you. And depending on the situation, um, almost every single gun in this game is good. For example, a 22 is no different than a 45 when it comes to killing a normal zombie, like this guy right here. I can shoot a 22 or a 9mm. As long as I get the headshot, the zombie's dead. So there's no like OP weapon in that sense. But if there is a weapon that I say that's very good in this game, it is the Elite Eternal Guard. Even though my homeboy is not a fan of the Elite Eternal Guard, because he says it looks like a fake gun. It looks like a super circle. But all jokes aside, it has 150 rounds of 7.62 rounds in it, which is fantastic. Now, if you have a break in this gun and you shoot this gun at a plague heart, I believe, if I remember right, it takes about 44 rounds of this gun to kill a plague heart. So you have 150 rounds in this gun before you need to reload it. That means that I can kill 3 plague hearts in one clip with this gun, which to me, it's very good, considering it takes about 3.5 seconds or 4 seconds to pump out those 44 rounds with this gun. So, you know, if you're talking about TTK, you're gonna be like, Prime. Oh, by the way, TTK is time to kill. All right, it's like a fancy acronym, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead. I forgot to let you guys know, just in case you don't know what TTK is. It's time to kill. 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds to kill a plague heart in your mind is fast, and I would agree, it's pretty quick, but it's not the fastest. What's crazy is that in this game, I get asked the same questions over and over again. What is the best gun or the best weapon to kill a plague heart? And I'm gonna say that it's not a gun or a melee weapon in this game that kills a plague heart the fastest. It's actually a consumable that kills this game that kills the plague heart the fastest. Most fastest way to kill the plague heart is you set a C4 on the left, a C4 on the right. You walk out the house, you pop the C4, boom, plague heart dead. That's probably the fastest way. The second fastest way to kill a plague heart is if you drop a bloater grenade cloud in there, boop, by dropping a bloater grenade in there, and then backing up and dropping some firecrackers or dropping a flare in there with it. And within 1 to 2 bloater grenades, depending on the area of the plague heart, where the plague heart is located, 1 or 2 bloater grenades, boom, you can do that instantly, like in under 3 seconds. You can kill a plague heart as well. So that's the second fastest way. So it's not even a gun that kills a plague heart the fastest. It's actually two different types of consumables. One C4, the other one's a bloater grenade. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys to ponder. And if I get the quest in this game to pick up the chem station, which is what I need, I will try to demonstrate what I'm talking about before this playthrough is over with. And I'll try to demonstrate to you guys like the fastest TTK way of doing it, and I'm gonna show you how to do it with an Eternal Guard, and because I will be purchasing this gun, maybe not in this episode, or maybe towards the end of this episode. I don't remember. I know I do get this Elite Eternal Guard. That's why I'm going at it with this Plague Heart right here, and since I don't have a way to recoup bullets, and I don't want to damage my weapon too bad, I keep kicking the plague heart, which is I would say the default way of killing a plague heart efficiently. How's that? Efficiently, with the sense that it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you any materials. It doesn't cost you any bullets. It doesn't cost you any grenades. It doesn't cost you anything. See, it's totally doable. I think this is like the 3rd or 4th plague heart I killed this way. And somebody dropped a comment saying that I'm showing new players how to boot gang, but in all reality, I mean it is an effective technique, and it doesn't cost you anything, guys. That's the killer right here. Kicking the hell out of the plague heart gets the job done. Takes a little bit of time, but gets the job done, and you don't waste any supplies doing it. So, hence why I kick the crap out of the heart. So right now I'm in like full tilt, guys. My goal here is to kill as many plague hearts as I possibly can because I want to buy that Elite Eternal Guard, and I do want to buy it. I think it was the Gunslinger, not the Gunslinger, the gun book, just in case I want my main character to have gunslinging. And you're gonna say, well, why do you need gunslinging? It when you fight NPCs, it just gives you that ability to move and shoot at the same time. Specifically, like being that I'm on a controller, it gives you that ability to do like a snap aim ability and guarantee you to get that headshot. And it's important to hit an NPC in the head because you want to knock him down. You're not going to kill him with that headshot in Nightmare Zone, but you're going to knock him to his knees. And that's going to be, you know, 10 to 15 seconds of that particular NPC not being able to fire at you, guaranteed. And if you have three to worry about, one out of the picture makes the next phase of the job a little easier. So that's why having Gunslinger for me is a must with a character that I'm gonna go hunting people with, NPCs with, and specifically the Nightmare Zone. So I wasn't fortunate enough to have any character in here right now that has gunslinger, and I believe one of them has weapon handling, and the other one's a sharpshooter, I believe. And that's how I'm playing the game right now. But I want that book because I want to be able to reset my hero, which I believe she's not my hero, my leader. She's a sheriff, and I know what I have to do at the end. I know that legacy is a tough one, and having gunslinging and being able to get my hands on scent block is gonna mean the difference between me getting yoked up in there or me being able to complete the legacy. So it's a fun legacy because you have to kind of like fight, like you gotta basically breach a fortress basically, and you're going in there and you got to fight it, which is fun, but you have to deal with the zombies as well. The way to get rid of the zombies is to scent up, and then you don't have to worry about the zombies. You just kill the NPCs, which is what I am gonna do in this legacy. I'm that is the best way to do it, and even doing it that way doesn't guarantee that you're gonna be victorious. It can go south really fast, especially if I mess up and get hit by an NPC, um, which can happen. So I'm gonna continue looting this area, and I'm trying to offload everything I have in my vehicle. And what again, I am trying to push fighting the next plague heart is what my goal is here, guys. And if you guys saw, I traded out my sword and I got that 1 pound axe. I'm also like trying to put in as many things that I can sell to this vendor in my inventory. If you guys notice, I picked up the little letters, and there is a plague heart right there. So I figure, let me kill this plague heart and bring all the resources that I can bring to this. There we go. See, that's I believe I'm gonna try to sell backpacks and basically sell everything I can sell because I know I want to get my hands on on those guns, and well, that one gun in particular. And if you guys saw there, I started crafting ammo. I put a little thing to craft for ammo as well. So I believe that's what I did. Because you can craft ammo. I don't know if I told you guys. And you can craft medical supplies as well. But you need like cases of chemicals, and you'll need spare parts. So it can be consuming, like a very resource heavy if you don't have a CNC machine to be able to make the parts to stay ahead of the game. So if you ever get your hands on a CNC machine and you have power in your base, and that's an excellent way to get parts. That's the most efficient way to get parts in the game. Not the only way to get parts, but the most efficient way to do it when you have extra supplies in your base. So I'm committed here to kill this plague heart. I see that there's some stuff to loot there, but I'm not interested in looting right now. I'm interested in making influence quickly. So what better way to make influence than by fighting a plague heart? So here we go. I'm looking for the plague heart. I believe this one's in the kitchen. I believe. I could be wrong. You guys saw that? I don't want to say nothing, but you guys saw that when I first went into this house, there was no zombies, and then they appear. So they just spawn in, which, you know, I always argue that there's a better way to do it. Like these zombies spawning outside of the house totally makes sense, where you don't see it. But when they do it blankly in front of you like that, that really frustrates the living hell out of me. So here's a Pharaoh, guys. I switched to my gun, so you guys can see I missed. I'm trying to get separation. It's all about distance when you fight Pharaohs. It's all about using fences, whatever you can do to give yourself space. Considering I don't have a gunslinger, I don't have a guaranteed headshot. I have to make the headshot happen. If you guys saw, that was some pretty bad shooting right there. I think I shot 5 times at the Pharaoh. I hit him 3 times, but they weren't headshots, so they staggered him. And I totally missed 2, and then finally I get the headshot. So it can be a little nerve-wracking, especially shooting on the fly like that, and it can be terrible, you know, if you panic as well, you know. So keeping yourself in check when you fight Pharaohs, keeping your emotions in check is probably the hardest part. I know for some people, something charging at you, some creepy thing charging at you, fast as heck, making all these weird noises, can definitely startle most people. So the only thing I can tell you guys is this: in order way to normalize fighting something in the game that you're not good at fighting, for like examples, some people may not be good at fighting Pharaohs, it's just to keep fighting them. The more you see it, the more you do it, the more it becomes normal in your mind, and the easier it's going to be for you to fight them, even in extreme conditions. So here I am trying to practice my crossbow shooting, and my lead is off, as you guys saw there. I missed that first shot, and then, you know, I was able to compensate and able to kill the zombie. Now, in my defense, I haven't used a crossbow in a very long time. I want to say since my first or second playthrough of the game. I just, you know, never went back to using crossbows, and very rarely do I use one. So my aim is not the best with them. So, like I said before, whatever chance I get to use a crossbow like that, and see like weird shots to take, I'll try to take them just so that I learn, you know, or get used to where the shot needs to be. So when I'm in a bind, I at least I have that what's the word I'm looking for? That presence of mind to be able to shoot. So there I was gonna shoot the crossbow bow. I don't know why I didn't shoot. I should have done it. I swung twice into midair and totally missed. The zombie was able to charge through the attack and hit me. So again, stuff like that happens in State of Decay 2. Sometimes it can be very frustrating, but you know, you kind of learn to deal with it. As you guys can see, I'm kicking the crap out of this plague heart too, because again, I have no way to replenish my ammo. I mean, the easier way to do it would be to come in here with a good caliber weapon and drop the hammer on it. Or if I had, you know, the ability to make some good explosives, get some explosives in there and blow it up with, you know, 5 or 6 pipe bombs. But since I have no power, I can't do that. And you know, so I'm kind of like a rock and a hard place right here. So I gotta use the boot, you know. I gotta strap on the steel toe of the boot and just go at it, and it takes a little longer, but you know, as you guys can see, I'm managing it. I've done it several times in this playthrough. Hell, I should just call this playthrough Beginner's Guide to Boot Gang, you know, because that's all I've been doing. And I missed that easy shot again, so I just chop his leg off and, you know, disable the zombie. a zombie can't stand it, can't fight, you know. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish, I believe, this plague heart right here, and you know, make as much influence as I can get my hands on. Again, I'm kind of like on a crunch time because I know that this vendor leaves in a few hours. But to be honest with you, if you get this vendor, you have no influence. You kill, you know, 4, 5 plague hearts, you're gonna have all the influence you need to get what you want. So there you go. I picked up some stuff here. I think I end up picking up the big bag. I believe we'll see here. I know you should. I don't know why it wouldn't, or maybe I just decide not to. One or the other. But in this situation, I don't see why I wouldn't pick up the big bag and ferry as much things over. There you go. I did do it. Because that's, yeah, that just makes sense. Why not? Why not take the bag, take the extra couple things that you can, and you know, be on your way. You guys can see I'm always picking up the plague samples because, you know, early in game like this, couple days into the game, this should be day 4. You want to be able to create cures. You're gonna get caught with your pants down. You're gonna get plagued. I already got plagued. One character plagued. I don't know if you guys noticed that earlier in the playthrough. I had to pop the actual sample that I had in my pocket for that community. I ended up using it on myself. So you will get plagued. So you want to have a few cures, if not one at a minimum, at your disposal. Now, I don't know why I kept that ruck in my back. I'm trying to figure out why I didn't put it in the trunk. I think it's because I'm going back to the house and offloading. And I think what I'm going to try to do is put as many consumables, trade consumables, in my vehicle and on my persona to see how much influence I can muster, because my goal here is to get the Elite Eternal Guard and to get the Gunslinger book. Those are the, well, they'll be able to change your skill, your shooting skill book, which I always call the Gunslinger book. So if you hear me reference that, then you guys know what I'm trying to say is being able to reset your shooting skills. So now I'll put back my other backpack back on and put that in there like so. Yep. And I'm gonna repair my equipment because I did shoot a little bit, and I believe I'm gonna resupply all my bullets to my gun as well. And because I did shoot at a feral, and as you guys notice, I don't have a suppressor on my 9mm. Not because I don't want a suppressor. It's guys, I've been fortunate enough to find one. And you're gonna say, Prime, you know, you could craft one, man. You got that workstation, man. That suppressor that you can craft is total trash. Not only doesn't it really mask your noise all that well, it damaged the living crap out of your gun. So I believe now our house is being, we have a small surge at the house, and we're gonna take care of it. This is not nothing life or death. Whenever you see like a 60-second surge, or less, you know, it's pretty easy. It's just gonna be little baby zombies. You know, you won't see nothing but maybe a screamer show up if you're a screamer, maybe a bloater. And look at the NPC doing some good work there, getting stuck in the bloater crowd. But that's about the worst of it. That's like that's what you're gonna see. If you see something higher than a minute, then you may see a juggy, you may see a feral. If you get over 2 minutes, which is the huge level 3 surges, then you might get a buttload of zombies that show up to your community, and you'll have to deal with that. So highly recommend that everybody in your base has at least some kind of weapon, some kind of gun. It doesn't matter, you know, what caliber, as long as they have a gun, a ranged weapon, they're gonna fire it off. If you have a 50 cal, it's ideal for you to give that to one of your community members. And this is when you can also build a tower, and that way they're popping off their shots no matter what from that tower. And if that person in the tower has a 50 cal, it makes a difference on these surges, guys. So if you find yourself struggling with surges and, you know, getting overrun by zombies all the time, I recommend that you build a tower. you know, if you got good, surge control, and you're you guys just saw that it wasn't that bad, then you don't need a tower. You know what I mean? So it's really based on on your um, on your position in the map and how big your community is and what base you have. Right now, in the base I'm in, I'm not making that much noise, and my surges are not going to be crazy. So that's why I don't have a tower in my facility. But having a tower in your facility uh, automatically guarantees that the NPCs are gonna fire whatever gun there is that they have all the time. It's not gonna be like, oh, um, they shoot whenever they feel like shooting it. They'll shoot it all the time. So that's what's cool about having a tower. It's pretty nice actually, um, to have a tower in your base. You know, highly recommended if you're struggling, like I said, with stuff in Nightmare Zone. Any edge you can get at your base and for your character, I'm gonna try to cover in this guide. Um, Obviously, these are all just techniques, and not none of it is a cheat code or something like that that you could do. So I believe I got the civilian vector in my pocket because I want to trade it in for influence. And since I know I'm not going to use that weapon, it's just not, not a practical weapon. Uh, I ended up just taking the bullets out of it and trading it in. I got some influence. And now you see I got the Elite Eternal Guard. I already have a Vector, and there's even an Advanced Suppressor right there, which I really want to get my hands on. I'm like, I was like, get the Elite Eternal Guard or get that Advanced Suppressor. And I believe what I do here is I get the Advanced Suppressor, and I'll get the book. I believe. I think that's what I'm eyeing out. I believe that's what I'm trying to do. Yep, I ended up getting the book. I was right, and the Advanced Suppressor. So what's gonna happen is this, guys. This episode is gonna stop right after all this that I'm about to do here. And what's gonna happen is the next episode. Actually, I did exactly what I told you guys to do, which is since I had to stop playing, I left my game running. I paused it. I did everything I had to do, and then I recorded episode 5. So when episode 5 starts, I'm already gonna be like, you know, and I think I'm right at the house when I start. So this next episode is gonna start with me being at the house, which will be episode 5, and then I'm gonna do some more play card killing, and I believe I'm going to talk about a couple other things because some crazy stuff happens in that particular episode as well, combat wise, that merits me talking about it. And we're going to talk about um, reverberation circles, and we're going to talk about the drag method. So just keep that in mind for episode 5 when I start talking and that particular fight happens. I'm going to talk to you guys about how to manage your stamina and how to use something called the drag method away from reverberation circles. And that's what the next episode is going to be about. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time and watching this video. Don't forget to leave a comment below if you have any questions or anything you want me to cover in a future episode. Um, no question is a dumb question. The only dumb questions we have are the ones we don't ask, guys. So please feel free to engage with me in the comments. Um, leave a comment about something I didn't do, something I should do, or maybe something I should talk about. Um, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. You'd like to see more of it. Leave a like and sub to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when when I upload these videos. Um, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the shares, the likes, and all that great stuff. You guys have a great day or night. Light, love, and peace. Congrexes. Checking out.